Welcome back for another great episode. Got my great buddy here, Jake, as you all are familiar with. We're going to be talking about a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of world leaders either stepping down from positions of being prime minister throughout different countries in Europe, the Middle East, and some other weird things going on. How's it going, bud? Jake?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
Good, good. Thanks again for coming on. All right, so let's get this started. As we talked about before we hit the recording, you have a lot to share. Where do you want to start?
Man, let's well, I mean, for starters, let's start about a lot of these European countries. These world leaders are stepping down. It's kind of odd, right before this inauguration.
Yeah. So like, who's?
A lot of. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. So go. Who's been stepping down?
So I have a list here. So in the Netherlands, the governors resigned. We have the whole thing that happened in Germany with Angela Merkel. Apparently, Estonia's prime minister has gone missing, and the whole Italian government's collapsing. There's a bunch of stuff that's going on in Russia as well. Apparently, something happened today in Russia. I didn't get a chance to really dive deep into it. I'm pretty sure you can look it up.
Mm-hmm.
And another big thing is the declassification of this Obamagate that's been, talked about for so long. I'm really hoping there's no redactions and we can see everything that they've been talking about. And the Kuwaiti prime minister has resigned as well. And we can also talk about what's going on in D.C. with this lockdown and 25,000 soldiers activated for this event. I mean, Jesus.
25. And people have been going online and saying look, if you need 25,000 National Guardsmen or soldiers in Washington D.C., then you probably didn't win shit.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I've heard that from multiple people already. Someone made a meme about it, and then there was this guy. I don't know, if he was like a construction worker or some kind of laborer. He's walking down the streets of DC with his phone, and he's like, "Look, they got Humvees, they got M60s, M4s, and a load of weapons and stuff like that. Obviously not M60s.
Hell, apparently, it's at almost every capital in every state.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, supposedly. I think up here that they put fencing around the our state capital up here. But
yeah, I guess there's troops in SAC right now here in California.
For real? What?
Yeah.
Do you think it's because the FBI came out and said that far right groups were planning attacks on the capital, all 50 capitals simultaneously, or some shit like that?
Yeah, they're sending out messages to a lot of these organizations warning that there's going to be exactly what you just said, these mass riots organized by the right, or what they want to call the Q movement. And, it's utter bullshit. It's all fear-mongering.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are waking up. I mean, it doesn't matter what side you're on. I don't even think politics is a thing anymore. This is that's, you got to throw that out the window. I think the truth is about to come out about everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really believe that.
I want to know, what is the FBI basing these claims off of? Where's the information? Is it a single source? Or are they monitoring the internet? I mean, where do they come up with this? Or is it because we know for a while that the FBI was never on Trump's side?
Yeah, that's right.
You have lingering members in the FBI from the Obama administration and even farther back. Very established people. I mean, the FBI has a long history of that kind of corruption with the king and almighty J. Edgar Hoover.
That's right.
That man was in position through 5 different administrations. The man had the drop on everyone. So do you think that there's no one in the FBI like him anymore? I doubt that. And Trump has come out many times and publicly criticized the FBI. So I want to know. I want to know where the source.
FBI though, not just the FBI, also the CIA. They're part of this crap too.
Yeah.
They're a corrupt organization as well.
You remember when Chuck Schumer was like, Trump is keeps attacking the intelligence community, and that's going to be the, I forget the exact verbiage. But he was like basically like threatening him. These are not the kind of people that you want to mess with, or some shit like that.
Is that a fucking threat?
On Trump with intelligence community. Because obviously I'm just spouting shit. Shooting from the hip here, but I want to get the full statement. Let's see here. I think I found it. Schumer's statement on president firing the intelligence community inspector general. Schumer. Oh my God, what the hell was it? Anyway, but the Trump Daily Intelligence briefing. Schumer is a disgrace. Closer, really dumb. I don't know. Either way, I don't want to keep people up too, but he's the attack in the intelligence community. It is a very dangerous thing to do. It could be. I mean, that's probably what did JFK in.
Yeah, exactly. And what does Trump know that they don't want others to know about? It's what it's starting to seem like. But especially, I stayed up watching that when they were voting in for the impeachment on the 25th Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, Nancy Pelosi's been absent on a lot of these things.
Well, she wasn't there on the impeachment. You mentioned that, and I actually tried looking it up.
Because she made an appearance to speak with the National Guard 3 days later.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that, because last time I saw her, she was wearing that black dress again on the impeachment day. I didn't even watch that shit, man. To be honest with you, I mean, not like the first one. The first one was more probably pertinent to watch. The second one, I knew it was just a fucking shit show. Again, it was just the House trying to flex. But
why?
Why?
What are they so scared of? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why do they want him impeached?
It's so funny. It's so funny to me about it, because one thing, and I agree with you, like, why? It's a waste of time, right? Like, in the last 10 days, the man can't be barred from... I don't care what anyone is saying, like, on Vox, on the fucking left, right, about him being barred. He has to be convicted in the Senate, and he has to be sitting in office in order to be convicted by the Senate. So plus they need 67 votes in the Senate in order for him to be convicted, and that's not going to happen. Even if there was possible to do it afterwards, which I'm pretty damn sure it's not. People out there may argue with it, but the whole point of impeachment is to remove a sitting president, not 100 days after president's left. And the whole thing, I think, the reason why they did that was that they wanted to flex. They wanted to, condemn the actions with the most, extreme measure that they could by impeachment. And I said this from the get-go during the first impeachment. I said all these guys are doing is that they're taking Trump and his name and his photograph from the history book in a large textbook of, American presidents, and just removed them out and then put them in with like two other presidents, And then now what they did is that they're going to make him and his name unforgettable for as long as the United States is around, because that's going to be a trivia question in 100 fucking years from now. Well, who's the only president to be impeached twice? Donald Trump. You just immortalized his name when Pelosi is going to be forgotten in 50 years. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I agree with you on that.
But it was just a big shit show. It was just a big thing to flex. They know. And the 25th Amendment thing, Pelosi was stepping out of her lane. And if I was Pence, I would have just simply responded with, stay in your lane. Because she's got nothing to do with the fucking 25th Amendment. I mean, do you know, like, what it... like its history, the background, and what it's for on the 25th?
No, not exactly.
So Woodrow Wilson, the president during the World War I, at the end of his term as president, he was basically brain dead. He couldn't function. He couldn't make any decisions, and his wife was basically running the show at the White House, right? Mm-hmm. So legislators realized that, hey, this is a problem. Like if the president is in office and in seat, we can't have his wife, which is a not elected individual, running the country. You know, it has to be a president or vice president. So they created the 25th Amendment, and it's for strictly for disability, and interpreted as not that is not for incompetency. The incompetency goes for the impeachment way. So literally, the 25th Amendment states that it has to be presented by the vice president and the majority of the president's cabinets. This is an executive move, executive branch move. It has nothing to do with the legislative branch. The legislative branch can't even invoke it, can't do it. They just confirm it. But it has to, I think they have to confirm it. But it's basically, vice president invokes the 25th, and the majority of the cabinets, the cabinet secretaries have to be for it, and then the president gets removed because he is physically and competently, as in, you know, if he's disabled. Like, let's say he has a stroke. Like, it's possible, you know, Biden rolls in and then he has a stroke in office and he literally can't speak or talk and he's on a fucking ventilator or, you know, life support. You know, the 25th could be invoked then. So that's what it's for. And that's the reason why they put it in place.
Well, it just sounds like to me they're scared.
Bro, when they brought up that 25th Amendment thing months ago before the election. Remember when Pelosi wanted to create that council of medical professionals and partisan or bipartisan officials in part of this chamber or council to like determine the fitness. People were like, "Oh, what is she talking about it for Trump? For Trump?" I don't think that they brought that up because of Trump. I really believe that she brought that up because of Biden. Yeah. I really have this weird feeling that Biden is not, one of two things, he's not going to be making it through the 4 years. I that's what I think. I'm not saying life. I'm not saying life or death necessarily, but I'm saying like something medically is going to happen where he's not going to be competent enough to fulfill his duties in that office in the next 2 to 3 years. That's what I think.
You're not the only one to think that either. A lot of people have been saying there's been rumors saying that you know, they're going to kill off Biden and Pelosi's going to take his spot and fuck over Kamala. And, you know, I guess there's dirt on Kamala. There's just all these rumors going around. And I feel like we're at this point where there's intended misinformation actually flying around the internet on purpose, and actual information combined with it in order to, I'm guessing it's a PSYOP operation, and they're doing this to get people, you know, awake to realize all this crap is a fucking dog and pony show that we've been being played. I really feel like we've been being played for everything.
Bro, we've been, we've been played for this whole COVID shit. It's coming out now. Now every single swinging dick governor out there is, oh, we got to fucking open it up now. We got to open it up. Hey, we're going to legalize casinos in New York now. Yeah, we need this economy booming, you know? Like, even Lori Lightfoot of Chicago was like, oh, hey, no, we got to open this shit up now. You know? Like,
all these small businesses suffered, man, and that pissed me the hell off.
We were used, bro. We were played. We were all fucking played. And yet, it's not going to be talked about. It's not going to be discussed. You know, people got hurt, bro. People got hurt and died for this bullshit. And they played it. They played it. You know, and I've had this entire thing ever since the Capitol riots, man. Just playing through my head. I almost kneeled to it, man. I almost gave up. I was about to jump and say, like, Trump shouldn't have said that shit. And then I fucking remembered, man. Trump didn't set that precedent. He was repeating. He was playing into that fucking game that the Democrats have been setting from day one that he set foot in that office. And that was this. They went on air at the debates and was like, Donald Trump is responsible for over 200,000 American lives lost. You know? And so like, how is that? Saying that, how is that not insightful? You know? Because now I'm going to start looking at everything different. Now I'm going to start pointing out the hypocrisy. If someone says the word fight from a Democrat side, I'll be like, how is that not, you know, fucking inciting? You know, how can you tell the American people, millions of people watch that, and you know, you tell someone that their grandfather or grandmother or husband or wife died, and they say, and they're blaming it on Donald Trump, you know? What do you think? That you think that doesn't radicalize people? You think that doesn't further divide? Yeah.
It's as if they want to start a civil war.
Yeah. You see, here's the thing about the, and it's so clear and obvious, and I know it's probably been going on for a lot longer than just now. But the Democrats will set this precedent, and then when a Republican does the same thing, they'll flip it on them. And then when they get caught with their hand in the cookie jar being hypocritical, and Republicans call them out on it, it just gets brushed right under. You know, like, you know.
Can we relate that with the Bush administration when Bush was in office? With that whole crap, you know, it's exactly what you're saying, enticing fear onto the people, all this crap, you know, with the global war on terrorism. Terrorism was the biggest thing after 9/11.
Yeah, we don't know where. 9/11, we don't know when, but something might happen, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, it fucked over a lot of people, and, you know, and it's just everything changed. I honestly believe that after the 20th, the world that we grew up in or that we knew isn't going to be the same. It's not.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think that's already started. I think, to be honest with you, I think that's already begun. You know. And
I really think, you know, I know people, you know, laugh at me when I get my information. I'm figuring out myself too. You know, I don't know everything. I don't know what to believe anymore. Half the crap the TV says, but it's fucking lies. Half the crap I read is probably lies too. You know, I don't even know what to believe anymore. I think we'll find out very soon. And people really do believe that something's going to happen on the 20th. And I believe it. There's no fucking way we need that many soldiers in Washington, D.C. I mean, have you seen the fencing and the concertina wire they have set up around the Capitol? It's as if, you know, somebody mentioned it's like as if they're going to try to imprison somebody.
Bro, you know what fucking flipped me out this week? I've had 2 conversations with 2 different people that don't even know each other, right? Mm-hmm. And they both said to me, I swear to you, both said to me, that, brother, they've been saying this shit, they've been warning us about this shit 10 years ago, and look at it all coming to fruition now.
Yes.
And they both said it almost like verbatim like that, man. They're like, both, and they even use the same number. They've been talking about this shit 10 years ago. You know, and no like one would have thought it. And I'm like, man, these 2 people. They told me that. I'm thinking, Jesus, you know, they're right, bro. I mean, maybe for so long that we've been putting out, hey man, they're gonna be coming for your guns. They're gonna be putting, you know, like, oh, you know, that shit ain't gonna happen. They're gonna be knocking on your doors, brother. You know, they're gonna be, you know, you see this in, you know, and because like my last episode I recorded, we're talking about socialism a lot. You know, and how I see like this socialist agendas that keep popping up, you know, and that we're falling into that fucking trap, and that we need to fucking bit that right in the ass right away.
Yes.
And then we could get to that later. I'll write that down, but not to go too far off of the topic. And you were talking about the world leaders so far that have been stepping down. This is the first time I've heard about it. And
the news is reporting it. They don't want anybody to know this information, but it is happening. Ever since this Italia Gate, have you read up about that? Where the servers in Frankfurt, Germany, you know, they were stealing the information from the election, and they were using it, sending it to different locations. They said they sent it out to Spain, and one of them was sending out to Italy. So apparently, one of the reasons why the Space Force was created was to intercept these type of communications. Somehow, I guess the Trump administration knew that they were going to cheat this election, and this is all speculation. There's no hard ground evidence on this yet. But why is it that Italy's government's collapsing, especially after this whole rumor of the Italians taking information from the servers from Frankfurt, Germany? It's fucking insane.
Well, I heard that thing about the servers being in Frankfurt, or like, are you talking about like the Dominion things?
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that was bullshit, and that they don't have anything in Germany. I don't know.
That's what they keep saying.
Yeah.
You know, I also heard rumors too. I think I talked about it last time. that they had a cover up. Apparently, they actually had special ops go in to retrieve these fucking servers. You know, this is all fucking talk on the internet. You don't know what the hell to believe. But this is what I'm reading. You know, I'm trying to read on both sides, from obviously the mainstream and then alternative, because a lot of these alternative news are actual journalists trying to give out information. It's hard to believe if they're real or not. And from what I read, they said it's really hard. And from what I'm reading, it said that we had special operations go in, and there was an actual shootout, and I guess 5 men died. And then they want to cover up that story, saying the fucking 5 men died in a fucking Black Hawk training accident in Egypt. I was like,
that happened?
Yeah, apparently a few months ago, when the whole fucking server thing was big, was talks on the internet, on TV, that I guess 5 service members.
Yeah, November 14th, 2020. Yeah. Army identifies 5 Americans killed in an Egypt helicopter crash. This is according to the American, to AP News.
Yeah, and not only that, the news was so fucking quick. I mean, they were quick to denounce these rumors. I mean, once a rumor hit, they were quick to denounce it. And when I think to myself, if I did something wrong and I don't want my ass to get in trouble, I'd be fucking quick too to cover my ass on anything.
Yeah.
That's just me personally, as a fucking human. Yeah. You know, if I know that I have an image, I'd be quick to fucking save it. But the reality of the fact is, this could be bullshit. Yeah. You know, everything I'm saying is probably bullshit, or it could be fucking 100% true. We don't know, and I really do think that's everything's.
We don't know. We don't know. Yeah. That shit. So like, what do you think is like behind? Because so we know that Angela Merkel stepped down. I looked up Netherlands Prime Minister. It doesn't say. It says that Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, and I think that's how you say his name, and his entire cabinet resigned over child welfare scandal.
Holy shit!
As of Friday.
No shit. Yeah. Okay.
And then I look up Estonia Prime Minister. You say that he ended up missing, but this is Estonia's Prime Minister resigns over a corruption scandal in his party. Minister resigned Wednesday over a corruption scandal involving a key official. Oh, by the way, you talking about missing people. I got to write this one down. Yeah. I can't forget this shit. I want to fucking circle that, motherfucker. We'll talk about that.
All right. Yeah, I want to hear this.
Too. But here, again, this is according to AP. In such a situation, it seems that, whatever. What was the resignation of Prime Minister Jüri Ratas? Who's also the Center Party's leader, automatically triggers the resignation of Estonia's 3-party coalition government, but doesn't automatically mean a new election. Said Wednesday on his Facebook page that he would step down as the suspicion expressed by the public prosecutor's office does not mean that someone is definitely guilty, but they will inevitably cast a serious shadow over all those involved. I don't know what the scandal is. Oh, here it is. A key official in the Center Party suspected of accepting a private donation for the party in exchange for a political favor on a real estate deal. Yeah, and then let's take a look. And then you said Kuwait.
Yeah, Kuwait was another one.
Okay, it says as of 6 days ago, Kuwait government resigns en masse as Emir faces first big challenge. Bro, what's up? Okay, so far we've looked at Estonia, we've looked at Germany, we've looked at the Netherlands, and then Kuwait. 3 out of those 4 say like basically their party like resigns en masse.
Yep.
And I think with the Angela Merkel one, she didn't necessarily step down, or is she just being replaced by her party?
So what I remember it was she's being replaced by her party. So it's the same party, or I might be saying this wrong. All I know is they had some type of weird election, and she's no longer in power.
Do you know how these governments like in England, Canada, Germany, you know how like their electoral process works?
No, I don't actually. I never looked in.
So it's a parliamentary government. So unlike ours, where we elect basically everyone except for the executive branch, what they do is that they have parliament, which is like our equivalent of our legislative branch, and like X amount of seats. And the X amount of seats is like the House of Representatives. Let's just say 400 seats. And like for Canada, I think there's less. But and so each one of those seats represents a small, district of people. And that district of people that is, outlined in the country votes for that representative in the seat. Well, the seat that the party that holds the majority, so let's say the Conservative Party, like in the United Kingdom, wins the majority of Parliament, their party, inside the party, not the people, but the party itself, nominates the Prime Minister because they have that authority. Because what they do is that before coming in to the election, each party has their party leader. And so, like Canada, for instance, it's the Liberals, the Liberal Party, that's in first, but the Conservative Party is like very close. And I made a joke about this to someone about how the Conservative Party and Canada received more popular votes than the Liberal Party, but the Liberal Party still has a majority of seats in their parliament. So I'm like, you guys fucking mock us about our electoral process, but it's the same fucking thing that happened in 2018 with you guys,
Yeah.
So now it'll be that whole year, but that's how it works. So technically, the party can say, we don't want this person as the prime minister or as our representative of the party. And I think that's what they did with Merkel. From everything that I've seen, she didn't step down, but it seems that they're just like, the party wants a new successor because she's been in position since 2005.
Yeah, a long-ass time, dude. A long-ass time. Here's another interesting one. I know you wanted to talk about that thing you circled. Another information I found out, too, was one of the Rothschilds just recently died of a quote-unquote heart attack.
Oh, yeah?
Now, I mean, everybody talks about these. Everyone knows about the Rothschilds. Richest family in the world. We all know they own a majority of all the banks. It's just surprising that this motherfucker died with a heart attack. And, I'm going to, quote, how I also been looking up a lot of like 17's posts and stuff like that. And you know what 17 is. I don't want to say the word so you don't get like in trouble or whatever. But yeah. One of the posts, it was like post 560 or something like that. I forgot which, but I can give it to you in a bit. It says, actually, I have it right here. It was really interesting. It's actually post 634. It says heart attacks can be deadly, 17. And it's kind of interesting that they're talking about this man, the Rothschilds, dies of a heart attack. And kind of weird coincidence. A really rich man, you would think, that somebody pointed this out too, saying that, if you have this much money, you can probably stop a heart attack before or get a heart transplant or something. You're the richest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to just randomly die of a heart attack like that? You're pretty sure you got, specialists monitoring you constantly. It's just a bunch of weird shit. It makes no fucking sense. I just feel like this all is revolving around information that I think Trump knows and is probably going to release to the world. I really do believe that the 20th is going to be an interesting day.
Yeah, if I was him, and I said it to you, and I said it to like other people too. If I was him, I would just unload everything, bro. If I could, declassify everything, all of it, aliens, the fucking everything. I just fucking dump it, man.
But man, you got to also understand too that if you did something like that, just imagine the chaos you'd bring upon not just our nation, but the world. People won't be able to handle that. I think that this was a plan by some organization, and they're doing this properly so that people will wake up and realize that they've been fucking played.
Mm-hmm.
I think the truth is going to come out. It's just we have to give it time.
So
if you throw everything all on one table, people aren't going to be able to swallow that.
So, with all these resignations going on and like leadership changes, do you think that is? Do you think that it's just a fallout from what's going on here in the United States, or what do you think is behind it? What can we look forward to on that?
Like my personal opinion?
Yeah,
because my personal opinion is like tin fat tinfoil hat wearing, conspiracy type crap, dude. I mean, it's out there. It's really out. I have so many theories of what's going on. But at the same time, I can be completely wrong about all this, and I'm okay to admit that. I really am. But to me, I honestly think that a lot of these world leaders are affiliated with some type of criminal organization. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, for example, everybody hates her. Everybody hates her. We know that. I don't know. I really don't know anybody that truly likes her, even from the left side. But she is very out there. I mean, you can look at her family lineage. It is public that her family had ties to the mafia, to the mob. And look what's happening right now in Italy. The world's biggest case is going on with the most dangerous. I guess he was like the head of the biggest mob there, is being tried, and it's like causing chaos there in Italy. And I just found out too that the Italian news agencies aren't reporting much about it. They don't want their people to know about it yet. The whole world does. What is it that they're trying to hide? Shit, they're even speculating that the crap in the Vatican, with the Pope, has ties to this shit. When was the last time you seen the Pope?
There's been so much shit coming out about the Pope ever since he's been in that position. So much shit, man.
Oh, I know. And not only that, what was weird was when the coronavirus first hit, he hasn't really made a public appearance. He apparently made a public appearance on a balcony waving at everybody and then disappears. I watched that video and somebody pointed out to me, he's like, why don't you go back and watch that video again? Apparently people are saying that was a fucking hologram. Look, yeah. I swear to God, you can look at have you seen the video?
No.
Dude, look at the video. It doesn't look real. It looks like someone put a very nice high definition. I mean, probably the best TV you can have on front of that window. Because when he turns around, he just fucking disappears like a ghost. I'm like, what in the fuck?
Let's take a
and
look.
I think that was the last time he made a public appearance. Because they're making all these articles saying he just got the vaccine. It's like, cool. Can we see actual video of him getting it? Can we see actual photos of him getting it? Because he hasn't been present at all.
This is Baltimore Sun. And then Pope appears briefly at apartment window. Let me take a look at that shit, man. Let's see.
I believe that was the last appearance he had, or supposed appearance.
See if they got pictures of it. No fucking pictures.
And if you find the video, look at the video.
Technology policy.
No, boo.
It's not hard.
I don't want to hear you. Oh, come on, man. These news sites are just fucking. Pope at the Window. There's an actual book called Pope at the Window. Let's see, February 24th. Let's see, March 16th. No. Oh, man. I wish it would. Anyway. Yeah, create Pope. Most recent Pope appearance.
Yeah, that'll work.
I don't know. Just... all news about Pope Francis on the latest news.
Hold on a second, put another dip in.
All right. Yeah,
bad habit.
I can't find it, but I'm not going to be digging too deep because.
No.
But yeah. So it's Pelosi tied with her father was the mayor of Baltimore, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. I like how she said, like, when she was spoken during the impeachment day of I'm a mother, I am a daughter, violating her own house rules of gender neutral speech.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's fucked up when the House has to make rules about what words you're allowed to say and what words you're not allowed to say in the American government. You know what I mean? On a public forum.
I mean, did you see that? I forgot when it was. It was like a week or two ago. When there was one of the, I guess he was a pastor or priest or something. He was making a prayer, and at the end of the prayer, he said, God. "Amen" and "a woman." And I go, what in the hell did he just say? I remember rewinding it, and then I read a comment. Someone made a funny comment saying, "This motherfucker thinks he's fucking gonna change the world or something." making history.
I saw like portion of that video. I saw like just I saw it and then like I clicked it and I was like watching the beginning of him making the prayer and then I just like clicked it off. I didn't know what the importance was, so I thought, trash. And then I saw people making memes about it. A man, a woman, well, you're a fucking idiot or a moron.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is people that are non-religious, like these atheists, came out and making fun of this shit. These people don't even
because the ignorance is so thick, man. It's so fucking stupid.
And I was like, that should be a sign right there that we're being played, and this is all a fucking show.
Being played hard, man.
Yeah, real hard. But my next question is that topic you circled. I'm actually very curious.
Jack Ma. Jack Ma is the name that I circled. Have you ever heard what happened to Jack Ma?
No. Fill me in. Wait, who is Jack Ma again? He's
the CEO of Alibaba.
Okay.
Multi-billionaire. He's also this is so fucking so strange. He's also been in like conversations with Elon Musk and debates about automation. Elon Musk believes that Elon Musk believes that automation is the future and that it would greatly increase the production and can be far superior and for mankind to be part of. And Jack Ma is like, no, we need to keep the human aspect in it because that's we need to keep the human aspect in it. Anyway, they got but let me see if I can find criticize this. All right. December 24th, 2020, by the New York Times, why China turned against Jack Ma. Now this should alert everyone because this guy is worth a lot of money. Let's see. It says another article by Time. Where's Alibaba founder Jack Ma? What the saga of one of the world's richest men reveals about China under Xi Jinping. This dude comes out and he criticizes the Chinese government publicly. Dude's been gone for like almost a month. Boom.
No shit.
Yeah. January 4th, yourstory.com. Alibaba co-founder Jack Ma suspected missing after criticizing Xi Jinping government. Let me see if I can find what he may have said.
What he calls fucking the leader of what's the leader's China called again? What's his name?
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
What do you call him? Winnie the Pooh.
It says earlier in October, Jack Ma criticized the country's pawn shop financial regulators and state-owned banks in an incendiary speech in Shanghai. He called for reform of a system that stifled business innovation and likened global banking regulations to an old people's club. The speech was viewed as an attack on the authority of the Communist Party and led to its extraordinary clampdown on his business activities. Little over a week later, Ant Group's IPO, valued at a recording $37 billion, or Australian $48 billion, doesn't matter, which had already received the green light from China's securities watchdog, was suspended. Moreover, the Shanghai Stock Exchange also noted that Ant had reported significant issues such as the changes in financial technology regulatory environment. This dude's gone. He's missing. This man is worth, let's see, net worth. Let's see what he's worth. Jack Ma is worth $59.8 billion.
Jeez.
And they can make a multi-billionaire that's supposed to have a lot of influence and, like, you would think that kind of money would bring you power. And it just shows you. He's not the only billionaire either to just fucking end up missing in China. That dude's either fucking in a ditch or he's in a re-education camp somewhere. But that should alarm the world. That should alarm. But of course, just like what communists are good and socialists are good, it's controlling the media, which we can get into. Right. I've talked already about, but Jack Ma, $60 billion, bro, just fucking gone.
And going to this is going to relate to like China as well. I think I think it was Mike Pence, put out something on the WhiteHouse.gov of some type of executive order that was signed, I think back in 2017 or something like that, or recently, about shutting down any corporations having affiliation with the market in China. And this was just released a few days ago.
Let's see. So this was a Pence locked.
I believe Pence did it. Let me double check. I have it here somewhere. It's very interesting.
Pence urges Biden administration to have eternal vigilance in standing up to China. Stay the course and stand up to Chinese aggression and trade abuses.
Our retirement plan with Voya keeps me moving forward.
Advertisement.
I found it actually.
Okay.
It's an executive order that was just recently signed. Actually, is this the right one? This is text letters to the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President of the Senate. That might not be it. Where is it? It was very freaking interesting. Maybe it's this executive order. Promoting small modular reactors to national defense. That's not it. Maybe it was the one I just picked. But it was regarding like shutting down corporations that have affiliation with the Communist Chinese. I think it's going to be, so it's going to be an executive order that was signed on January 13th of this year, 2021, and it's called Text of a Letter to the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President of the United States.
Okay.
Actually, it was signed by Trump.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
I believe this is the one. It has something to do with like China and having affiliation with their market. It was kind of interesting. I'm just wondering how that's going to play out, because the Biden administration is already making all these things ready to go for when he gets inaugurated with, fucking pay increases for minimum wage, and he has like this stimulus package bill that's going to be going out. I'm thinking you're going to send out all this money and inflate the dollar even more. Like, what the fuck is your plan? Like, everybody knows that the value of the dollar is our currency's crap, dude. It's gone.
Yeah, it just keeps plummeting.
Have you noticed Bitcoin? It's worth more than gold.
Tenfold.
It's like
tenfold.
Dude, yeah, it's like people know that something's going to happen. They need something that's worth value in order to make purchases on anything. It's just so odd. All the economies seem to be crashing, but for some reason, our economy, especially the stock market, has been doing okay. How is that possible?
Well, that's because we keep pouring money into these big businesses, big corporations. It's the Fortune 500 or the Dow that keeps going up and up, because we've been eliminating their small competition. We've been shutting people down, shutting down small businesses. What competition do we have against Amazon now anymore? What much competition do we have against Walmart?
You have these big corporations. Sure, you shut down small business, and these big corporations are making money, but that still wouldn't drive up the economy entirely. You're depending your entire economy on just these small amount of corporations. There was a rumor that somebody told me saying that somehow Trump has this information why these other world leaders are stepping down, is that they need to put money back into the economy. There was some type of deal made in order for them to not get their asses chewed out with some type of truth, saying that the money that they pretty much stole from us needs to be put back in, and apparently it's being flooded back into the markets. And Trump he's always saying, it's like he's making it obvious. He wants us to see that the market is doing good, even during a shitty fucking pandemic. And I'm trying to understand why. Why is that? And there's so many rumors to it. It's very interesting, man. And
there's a lot that gets tied into the stock market that people think, okay, the stock market is booming, but that's only helping out big business and big corporations. No, not necessarily. Okay. There's a lot of people that live off of just dividends, and I'm not talking about like big time people. I'm talking about there's even small time people, that even required live off of that. Also, how many retirement plans are out there that depend on the stock market?
A lot.
401ks, of your everyday people. So when they tell you, they get on the media and like, oh, the rich are only getting richer, and the stock market, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, but it's only helping out the executives. It's only helping out the very rich. No. A lot of people, a lot of everyday people, have a lot invested in that stock market and being successful, and that's the retirement plans, the IRAs, maybe not IRAs, but retirement plans. Dividends, livelihoods, definitely rely on it. Even, basically you could go into business and you could start buying stocks, and that's part of your assets, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be your own businesses as stocks, and just buy into another one. So, there's a lot of things, just a lot more than what the media is trying to tell you of turn on the rich, which is a good, socialist tactic of turning on the rich, the proletariat, and all that other shit, Seen it before. 100 years ago, fucking happened, 120.
Not wrong there.
Yeah.
Jeez. No, I just find it really odd. I find it really, really odd. And it just seems like everything's starting to revolve around China. It's just everything has to do with China. I don't know if you also heard too, and Iran too. Iran's been in the picture about this too. Just was it last week? Israel bombed the shit out of Syria. Because apparently didn't Iran have troops there or something like that, and I don't remember the whole story, but Israel's like, no, fuck that, we fucking bombed the shit out of them. I was watching a video of it, and it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I don't know exactly but it happened right after the riots, and some people were saying that that's because they took advantage of a time where the concentration's on the United States and not on the Middle East right now, and they took advantage of that. I don't know what was the background of that, but I just wanted to say, did you know, this is a little bit of humor, on March 14th, 1883, that Karl Marx made his most important contribution to mankind? Do you know what it was?
I do not.
He died.
That's a day I'm putting on my calendar to celebrate.
Yeah.
Taking that day
March
off.
14th. Yeah.
Make that a fucking federal holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. No, another thing that's a good one to talk about is the whole riots. All I see on the news right now is the riots, this, riots, that. COVID's still being talked about, but not as much. But I already see reports coming out saying it wasn't just because there were Trump supporters that entered that building, 100%. There were Trump supporters that did enter that building.
There were some, yeah.
But
yeah.
There were some, but a majority of them, dude, a lot of them were coming out to being these alt-left motherfuckers. I guess two of them were well known with CNN, and have been on CNN several times.
Really? I know about the guy named Sullivan. I know that one so far. That's the one?
And there was a female, I think she's a reporter or like a small-time journalist or something for CNN. And her some dude that was reporting her, she was just made it fucking well known. It was obviously her, and I guess she works for CNN. And yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is going to be coming out soon.
I even had someone reach out to me today, an old friend of mine, very leftist person. I won't say far left, but pretty, very left. And then she comes up to me and says, "Hey, I'm getting into info more and more." I think she means InfoWars. Things that I never knew or heard about, especially about the setup at the Capitol. Groups that are not even Trump followers, but not Antifa or BLM, but someone I had not heard about, like QAnon or something like that. That's what she said. And InfoWars broke it down and explained it in detail. And I was like, whoa, bro, you coming at me with this? I'm like, I've been saying this shit to you. You've been thinking I'm weird as fuck for a while, And then I was very shocked I got that message. But I think so. I think that they're like I said right from the beginning, agent provocateurs, bro. Had to have been, because
called it.
Because everyone was out there to cover that shit quick. But why don't you see? You don't see much videos. You know that Facebook and like Twitter like put the kibosh on the fucking videos of the riots. Like that you can't even see like the tear gas, the fights between the police. Why? But like the other stuff was okay. That went on in the country. But why? Why did they close this one down quick on that? I would think that if there was a lot going on, they would want to make that public and let it really everyone see like, oh, the violence of the right, the violent right or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Hey, hold on, just one moment, okay? We'll pause it.
All right.
But yeah, agent provocateurs, man. Agent provocateurs. That's what I thought. It.
Starting to look that way. I mean, you saw I saw videos of the police officers just telling everyone to come on in, hurry up, come on in. Like, what the fuck?
I really thought that was weird. Yeah, they basically like opened it up and let them walk in, and then they were with them the entire time, like stand up, stand back, and then yet they were like still walking with them. And then Ben Shapiro goes on and is like, well, they didn't have enough people to arrest everyone. What do you do when it's just like 3 police officers there and gets a whole crowd? Okay, but then why the fuck were there only 3 police officers there in the first place? The week before, the Thursday before that riot, Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., had put in the request to the Pentagon and got it approved before the weekend to have X amount of National Guard there. Where were they? It was already approved prior to this. They knew that this was happening. They knew that this gathering was happening. I said from the get-go that this smells like bullshit from the beginning, and it's a setup. Someone's in there. They want it. They take advantage of a situation with some fucking simple-minded fucking people to storm the Capitol. Speaking of which, the guy that like broke into like Nancy Pelosi's office, and like got his feet up on the. Yeah,
I was laughing.
Yeah, I was laughing too. But not him, but someone had taken Pelosi's hard drive apparently, and I want to confirm this. Pelosi. God damn, I can't fucking spell right now. Hard drive. Let me read this to you, because I think Nancy Pelosi probably needs to go through AT level 1, and and some fucking mandatory classes about cyber awareness and shit. Okay, because January 16th, a man who says he threw away a hard drive loaded with 7... Oh, never mind. What the fuck am I talking about? Jesus Christ. January 9th. And this is the Daily Squib. Nancy Pelosi's hard drive on stolen laptop holds many surprises. Whoa. But guess who ended up suicided with a fucking hole in his chest? The guy who fucking took it.
Really?
Yeah. Let me find it for you. Man who took Pelosi laptop. Pelosi's conference room laptop was not taken by special forces. Yeah, no shit, we know that, motherfucker. Fact check, fuck you. Let's see, 3 days. This is according to Reuters. Laptop stolen from Pelosi's office during storming of U.S. Capitol, says aide. And then let me find the guy's name. Okay, hold on. I got the name right here. So I want to confirm with everyone we're doing this live. Christopher Stanton. Okay, this said breaking 911 was the name of the originator. Breaking, Christopher Stanton, Georgia man, charged in Capitol riot, killed himself with a gunshot to the chest at his home in Alpharetta, Georgia. So let's confirm this. Christopher Stanton. And
death by suicides, for the past, forever, even before Trump's...
4 days ago, according to the... I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. It just seems odd. It just seems like these people randomly kill themselves. It's as if they don't want to be caught, or is it that somebody's killing them because they don't want to release information for them to testify?
A Donald Trump fan reportedly shot himself in the chest and was found dead by his wife after the Capitol riot unrest. Christopher Stanton, Georgia. Oh, so the guy's actual fucking name is Georgia, and he lived in Georgia. He lives in heaven now, or dead, or somewhere. But 53 was charged last week for his involvement in Wednesday's Capitol chaos. 11 Alive reported. Let's close that. His wife found him on Saturday morning in the basement of their home and told police there was blood everywhere. The father of two found with a gunshot wound to the chest, the Daily Mail reported. A medical examiner ruled that the Alpharetta, Georgia man died by suicide. Authorities have not commented on the reason why Georgia took his lone life. A police report obtained by the Sun states that Georgia's family members were extremely distressed at the scene. Georgia's wife provided gruesome details to cops and said she was searching for a gun. Police reportedly confiscated 2 semi-automatic SKS rifles from Georgia's home. Okay. On the day of the Capitol riots, Georgia had stayed out past the 6 p.m. curfew after police officers told Trump fans to leave around 7:15. Court documents showed he was charged with attempting to enter certain property, that is, the United States Capitol grounds, against the will of the United States Capitol Police. The Trump supporter reportedly worked at the North Carolina-based banking company BB&T as a regional portfolio manager. Georgia apparently began working in finance after selling hair pieces in the 1990s. His neighbor, Jace Carreras, described him as a loving father who always had a smile and loved cutting his own grass. I never heard him speak badly to anyone about anyone. Meanwhile, Ellen Burbidge, whose daughter Lisa was once married to Georgia for less than a year, said he did not come off as political when they knew him. He wasn't political at all then, and I remember, but was not a political time. Times have changed, Burbidge said. Anyway, not to go too far into it, but an SKS that they think. Let's take a look at. I mean, I got an idea what SK. Oh my Jesus!
A Russian rifle, right?
Bro, it's like fucking carrying an M1 Garand and you blast yourself in the fucking chest with that.
Wooden. It's made out of wood, right? And fucking. It's a Russian rifle. You can buy them at Big Five.
It's a Soviet, semi-automatic carbine chamber, and it was designed in 1943, used in World War II.
And he shot himself.
That's what they found. That's all they fucking found. The father of two was found with a gunshot wound to the chest. Medical examiner ruled. Okay, a police report. Oh, where the fuck? Georgia's wife provided gruesome detail to cops and said she was searching for a gun. Police reportedly confiscated 2 semi-automatic SKS rifles from Georgia's home. Bro, that just fucking got deeper than I really thought, than I really intended. There's no fucking way you blast yourself in the chest with a fucking SKS.
I mean, you could, but why would you do that?
Yeah, but this fucking guy doesn't know yoga. He's not like that fucking
exactly.
Limber.
No.
Well, I'm just going to put my toe right in here and...
Yeah, it's a lot of these stories coming out. A lot of this, it just seems like that was a hit. A lot of these things seem like they're fucking hits, man. Remember the whole thing with those police officers and the computer from Hillary Clinton, and they saw all that crap on the computer, and then they magically committed suicide. And it's just a bunch of shit. It's lies, and lies. I'm tired of it.
Men do not typically shoot themselves in the chest when they commit suicide. Uh-oh. Anyway, but men typically do not shoot themselves in the chest when they commit suicide. They always do a gun wound, self-inflicted wound to the head. Women would, but it's very that's very, very weird. That's very, very weird. But you won't hear about that, though.
No, and then they won't report even deeper on that. It's just as if they don't want us to know the goddamn truth, dude. And I'm so sick of it.
But it doesn't say... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, we only have, what, 3 days left?
17th today.
18,
Yeah,
19.
3 days
Yeah,
left.
3 days left. I think a lot's going to come out tomorrow and on the 19th. I think the day before inauguration, there's probably going to be some big news drops.
Yeah.
There's even rumors that, and this is just speculating all over the web, that the emergency broadcast system is probably going to be used to relay a lot of this information.
Yeah.
They're talking blackouts. I mean, shit, just today, the website Gab?
Yeah, kind of. I briefly heard about it. And, I think I searched it up one time, and then it was automatically on Wikipedia saying it's for far right extremists, white supremacist people, and shit like that.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. It was an alternative. It was an alternative to Twitter, and I'm going to send you this right now. But
Okay.
the CEO posted this, like 5 hours ago. And this could explain what these blackouts people have been talking about on the internet. They're talking about these blackouts that 17 has been that confirmed a few years back, saying that it may happen. So I just sent you a message with the post on Gab that the CEO posted, and he showed evidence of major blackouts on the internet by these providers. And it's kind of interesting. What he said was very interesting too.
Okay.
I don't know if it went through or not.
I can't find any articles, but I've only found like
Oh, there's no
forums.
articles.
No, about the man we were talking about. Apparently,
Gotcha.
allegedly, he was rummaging through the laptop of Nancy Pelosi during the storming of the Capitol. But there's no articles like hardcore article that confirms that. It's just people talking on forums that are saying that. So I don't, anyway, to clear that up. But let's take a look. Oh, you didn't send it yet. Okay. You there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, okay. Anyway, but yeah. Oh, you said you were going to send that?
Yeah, it should have already sent. Not sure if it did or not. Probably give it like a minute.
Was it through the messenger?
No, I did it through tag. I'll probably just send it to Messenger.
Oh, yeah, do that. Oh.
There we go.
Needed a new one. Oh, here we go. Okay, what's this? Andrew Torbo. Looks like a nice chunk of the internet just had a blackout. Test run for the week ahead. What, Verizon? Oh. Star Wars Battlefront? Roblox?
Yeah.
Optimum NFL Network. What is your take on this entire censorship, taking Trump off of social media, the kibosh on the on Parler? Well, what is your take on that? What do you think?
It seems like they're targeting a certain group of individuals and an individual. It just seems like there's information that they don't want to be left out. That's my only assumption about this.
Reports have come out, and I tried finding them earlier, and this is word of mouth because apparently I listened to a lot of Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro and shit, and this is what he had said, that they're finding out that most of the planning and talking about the Capitol riots mostly happened on Facebook and Twitter, not on Parler. Now, that was a bunch of bullshit, and I think that it was so dangerous, so dangerous to be removing Parler. How I don't understand how that is even legal. I really don't. Like, there was no.
They get away with it because they're private companies, or they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, but I think it's illegal to do that kind of collusion. Like,
oh yeah, most.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but yeah, I mean, like this is big monopoly collusion, and I'm pretty sure that it's illegal. I have to look into it and I have to dig into it, but I'm pretty sure that like I cannot, as like a business owner, go up to like another company and say, hey, take him off. This guy's doing pretty bad. Or hey, take him off. Fire him, or remove this based off of unfounded claims. it was just a big attack on the right. I mean, like Amazon basically removed their servers and not even allowing them to even operate independently. You know, even without the app support.
There's a lawsuit with Parler and Amazon right now because of it.
Yeah, I hope they get it, man.
Me too.
Because that's bullshit. I mean,
fucking even Snapchat said that they're going to remove stuff with Trump.
Yeah, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook,
everything. Yeah,
all of it.
It's fucking insane. What are they trying to fucking hide, dude? That's what I'm trying to figure out. This man has information.
And I think the majority of us can agree on this. It's not about the censorship and removal of Donald Trump necessarily off of Facebook and off of social media, because he, as someone was stated before, he still has a means of getting his message out there, because you know he could just have a press conference at any time that he wants, and the media is going to flock there, right? So he still has an outlet. Still, I mean, you know, it's gotten smaller, but it's still there. The problem is that we have proof, we have facts now, and evidence that shows that this can happen to anyone. Now, what is it going to mean for us in the future? You know? Who is going to be the aristocracy or the group of special elites that gets to determine what speech is appropriate and what isn't? You know, as I written
that's very scary.
Yeah, as I written into my article, you know, these are non-elected officials that are determining what speech is appropriate and what we are allowed to listen to and read and consume as entertainment or media or news, you know?
Yeah.
And people will say that this is a private company. This is a private business. They can do whatever the fuck they want, you know? And
it's small businesses. There's private companies. They might as well start fucking going back in their stores and operating.
Yeah. No shit. It's their right. There's nothing in the Constitution that says they can't run their business, right?
Yeah.
And so what has annoyed me about the left was when they were mocking us, saying about the cake, the bakery in Colorado.
In Oregon. It was Oregon, I think.
Well, there's one. The big one was in Colorado. Guy refused to make a homosexual couple, a gay couple, a cake for. But he knew the guy for so many years. But he's like, you know, I'm sorry, I just can't make it for you. And it just blew up from there. And he's been constantly getting sued for blah blah blah. And they're saying that we're hypocrites because we say that it's his private business. He has the right to do so, right? But then when we say like Facebook and Twitter, I mean, I understand where they see that. I just think it's fucking simple-minded because, and I'll break this down why. For one thing, in the fucking Constitution of the United States, in any state here in the fucking Union, nowhere does it say anyone has the right to have fucking cake, you know? For one thing, the cake shop probably doesn't receive like a big chunk of its money from public funds from all over states across the United States of America and the federal government. That's another thing. Nor do they create a platform that is protected, you know, under the Constitution of the free speech, you know? And I argue that we need to move forward to make them a public utility. Because if we've been teetering on this, and we as conservatives and people on the right have been wanting to keep the internet like a Wild West, you know, where you can fucking say anything that you want, you know, up, down, left, right, fucking is even the most hateful shit, you know, that we all condemn. We've been looking at the internet as it being the Wild West, you know? I mean, can you agree with that?
Agree with that 100%.
And so I think now Facebook and these big tech corporations, they have created something where we can undeniably say that it is essential service to many people across the United States, and here's why. They receive federal funds, they receive public funds from state, local, and federal government to get a message out, right? To inform the people of what's going on in the country, and that's one thing. But there's so many businesses that rely on social media, rely on the internet. If we are having school over Zoom, internet needs to be a public utility, you know? And so once we get public utility off of the internet, we can get these guys, because once you turn them into a public utility, they cannot deny you what that utility is. You know, they cannot say, "Hey, they basically can shut you up."
Isn't that what Elon Musk said as well? Isn't that why he did that that Starlink project where he sent the satellites over so that people around the world can get free internet?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can agree with that.
Yeah, and I believe it. I believe because Facebook, Twitter, so many businesses. I'm talking like not politics involved. You know, so many people rely on it. Hey, we got this new product out. You know, how can you reach millions of people or thousands of people so easy? Not by standing out with a sign. You know, people don't, especially during these times, but like I said, that it wasn't just Donald Trump being booted off. It was the message that was delivered to everyone by doing that.
Yep.
The message is what pissed us off more. Because the left has been claiming this shit about, the conservatives claim that we're getting targeted. We are being targeted. And I understand that there's people on the left that are getting silenced too, and I don't fucking agree with that either. But it's undeniable that we see it more often and more prevalent with right-wing ideology. Because look what came out recently. Who have been the big donors to the Democratic Party for this last election cycle? Google.
Oh, it's funny. Big tech.
Over 77% of donations through Facebook employees have been to the Democratic Party. Over 80% from Twitter. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Bro,
aren't they doing it again for
Susan Rice?
Biden?
Susan Rice, that's being set up for I forget what fucking position in the cabinet. She was on the board of Netflix. You know?
Yeah.
You have our institutions, our education institutions that are being swamped in by socialist left wingers. Then you have all of our media outlets that are mostly left wingers. You know, and as I said in one of my articles, you know, in a way, we allowed it to happen because we were complacent, you know?
Yeah, most definitely.
And so now it's gotten so ingrained that even if anyone on the right or anyone with conservative thought tries to come up, that shit can get knocked down. Case in point, and no one can dispute this. Case in point, Parler. Boom.
Dude, it's almost as if this is straight out of the Nazi handbook.
Well, this is out of the socialist handbook. This is it. This is like to the T of communism.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary as fuck.
And I get it. People everywhere's going to be like, "Oh, okay, get off your fucking conspiracy theorist shit." You know, stop using the fucking conspiracy theorist thing.
Yeah, the word conspiracy is so thrown out now. There's so much evidence in front of us.
It means to speak. Exactly. That's to conspire. Is to speak.
Yeah.
You know.
Correct. And this isn't a conspiracy anymore. This is legitimate facts. Whoa. This is happening right in front of our faces, and it's as if they're doing it on purpose for us to realize they're doing this. You're living in a fucking world like 1984.
Bro, like I was telling you, like I was telling you earlier about, like I was thinking, like maybe Trump really fucked up. You know, maybe I should, you know, really get away from Trump. I think he did bad on this. Then I look at all the proof, man. Look at all the evidence. What did he actually say? Did he actually say anything that was any rhetoric any different from anyone on the left? No, because they're creating a double standard. He didn't say to go down there and you know, raise hell, praise hell, and fucking kick ass and take names and shit like that, open up a can of whoop ass. No, he didn't say any shit like that. He literally said go down there and cheer the senators and the other senators not so much, you know? And so how, I mean, yeah, probably he charged the crowd, and he's been charging it, you know, everyone that's been paying attention to him with this, you know, stop the steal and the fucking, voter fraud. But these motherfuckers on the left have started that shit in 2016. You have Hillary Clinton that admits she made up the entire Russian collusion. They've been saying for years, that Trump was a Russian plant. Years. How is that not a conspiracy? I sent you that tweet all the way up from back in May of 2020. They're still claiming that bullshit. How the fuck was that not a conspiracy? It's been proven wrong, proven false. The only thing that has been proven true was that, yes, the IRA, right? And Russian organizations, but not just Russia either, but creating those troll profiles on Facebook and stuff like that. But there was no collusion with Donald Trump saying, "Hey, Putin, yeah, get me in, dog." No shit like that.
Nope.
We've been doing that to them too, motherfucker. We've been doing it to other countries as well. Remember the CIA, the intelligence report came out during this last election cycle, this last year, saying that now we're seeing even involvement from China, Iran, and Russia into this, creating troll profiles and shit like that. But now suddenly
they keep up. What's his name from Iran's Twitter? He can still spew hate and shit, and he's still out on Twitter. So the president, the leader of fucking Iran, isn't his profile still up? And he's still spewing bullshit.
Iran leader Hassan Rouhani. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I believe his Twitter account.
He does got a Twitter. I know that they've been saying this. The part of the rhetoric has been, Twitter allows all these fucking people on, world leaders, and this guy literally commits fucking crimes against humanity
every day, dude.
This guy literally executes his own people for over free speech. Yeah. Yeah, here he is, man. Hassan Rouhani, president of the Islamic Republic. Here, I'll put this over on the.
Fucking insane.
There it is, folks. What bullshit, man. Yeah. But to go on to my rant.
Yeah.
Is they've been saying that Russian collusion for years now. They even stick to it even fucking today. And so when they've been saying, and by the way, more Democrats opposed the certification of electors in 2017 than Republicans did this year. By the way.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Let's see. 2017 Democrats opposing electors. This is January 6th. House Democrats failed to muster support to challenge Trump's electoral college win. The challenge by several House Democrats to Donald Trump's election on Friday collapsed when they failed to persuade a single Democratic senator to join their protest. So here, wow. And so even Nancy Pelosi was like, well, I'm not telling them to do that, but, fight the good fight. She was on that too, motherfucker. Where do you think that people on the right just fucking made this up? Like we've never seen it before? Anyone tried to object the electors? No, they did that same goddamn thing too. And like I was mentioning to you earlier about like the insightful speech, we've seen it through Maxine Waters, like getting to the face of get in their face and tell them they're not welcome here. Get out of here. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's on video. You can literally see them,
bro,
fucking saying this shit. And people just. Was it just go through one ear and out the other, or what? I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't.
See, and this goes out of like the socialist playbook of we're going to attack the rich. Yep. Let me see if I can find this. Fuck, I read it out on my last cast too, and I don't give a shit. I'll repeat it again because to me this was very. Very eye-opening for me. Do you know about Kwanzaa at all?
Like the holiday?
Yeah.
You mean the one that was created in the 70s?
Yeah, 60s. Yeah,
60s. I know very little about it, but I know it was a bullshit holiday that they created. I forgot for what reason.
Yeah, so oh god, let me try to find it. I hope I can fucking find it. I know I read it off on the last one. It couldn't have been that far back, could it? Just repeatedly. Well, it was created by a man that was a Black Panther, and for because he felt like the Christmas holiday was too racist towards African Americans. And so created this time of Kwanzaa, which, it's basically like, it's just a made-up holiday. But yeah. I took a screenshot of the quote from the gentleman that created Kwanzaa. And, fuck me, I hope I can find it. I did last time, I don't know why I can't find it now. Hold on, take it easy, slow. Oh, good God. I don't want to keep hangnail on here too long, because I need to keep talking. Fuck me, where is it? Turns out in DC. Here we go. Okay, so American Maulana Karinga created Kwanzaa in 1966 during the aftermath of the Watts riots as a specifically African American holiday. The Karinga is not his birth name; he renamed himself. Karinga said his goal was to give blacks an alternative to existing holiday of Christmas and give blacks an opportunity to celebrate themselves and their history, rather than simply imitate the practice of the dominant society. That was his quote. For Karinga, a major figure of the Black Power movement in the 1960s and 70s, the creation of such holidays, who underscored the essential premise that, quote, you must have a cultural revolution before the violent revolution. The cultural revolution gives identity, purpose, and direction.
Oh.
Yeah.
And look what we've been dealing with for the past 10, 15 years. We have identity politics. We have people uprising. It's almost as if they're dividing it.
It's because it gives them a purpose, gives them a direction to fight for something, to fight for a revolution, right?
Yeah.
It specifically says you have to have the cultural revolution before the violent one. So we see that, right? We see the division among the people, and it's against we're being told to go against the rich when you got AOC creating fucking $60 sweatshirts of tax the rich, fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so stupid. Because that's how it started. I think in the early 1900s, it was like, hey, the factory workers were like, hey, they're profiting off of your labor. They're not giving you money. They're making all the money. They should equally distribute it to you guys. And it was them that went up against, it was the workers, people that went up against the higher ups and then took down the throne. You even have AOC coming out saying, we need to create a special council, a group of people that is going to monitor misinformation through the media. Did you hear about that?
Oh.
No? Okay.
She really said that?
Yeah.
I don't even follow her at all, man. I thought she's just a complete whack job, and no one really cares too much about her. I know a lot of the progressives worship her.
Ocasio-Cortez. Congress looking into ways to rein in disinformation. Okay, I do think, and this is a quote, I do think that several members of Congress in some of my discussions have brought up media literacy because that is a part of what happened here. And we're going to have to figure out how we rein in our media environment so that you can't just spew disinformation and misinformation. It's one thing to have differing opinions, but it's another thing entirely to just say things that are false. And again, are we confident that we can allow government to determine what is and what is not allowed to be said? True or false, or wherever the fuck anyone think that it is? No, absolutely not. Because you know what this is? We've had examples of this. It's called the Department of fucking Propaganda, right? Because you're going to allow, again, elites to determine what is appropriate speech and what isn't. Is it illegal to lie? No, it is illegal to lie under oath.
Correct, but not in general. And this sounds like something right out of the Nazi handbook, man. So fucking scary.
Yeah, it's right. Propaganda department. We got it. We have to monitor what's misinformation. Well, motherfucker, you guys monitor. We allowed Twitter and Facebook to monitor the New York Post on the Hunter Biden laptop. It wasn't founded to be false, but it was taken down anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it was removed pending an independent fact check.
Jeez.
So,
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so fucking scary to really, dude. Everything about that is so scary. To have the government legitimately tell you can't say that when you know 100% it's fucking true.
Yeah. You know.
No.
That's what it's meant to be. I mean, like I have the right. If I want to listen to bullshit, I can listen to bullshit. I listen to her, so I listen at least to 80% bullshit from her. You know, so because it's, you know, but I'm not going to be saying that like, oh, you know, we need to take her down. You know, but that's the problem. That's the problem with the left is their double standards, and then we have our consistency on the right. You know, and it's. To me, it's just it's shocking. I don't get that message out there. You know, like,
well, okay, well, you know, the consistency goes both ways. I can't just say the right is always consistent either, because there's propaganda that comes out of that shit too, constantly. I like that's why I said earlier when we started this cast is that I don't even think this has to do with politics anymore, man. We got to throw politics out of this shit left and right. We need to save America. We need to save the Republic. It's time to bring back what this country was really founded on, what we fought for. I mean, literally, this politics needs to be thrown out, and people are waking the fuck up. We need to bring back America. That is the problem. I don't know who the fuck these people are, who the fuck they think they are, but obviously they don't know the history of this country. They do not.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It's like we live in a time where I have to be fearful of sharing my opinion to people, to friends, to people I don't know, to family members, because if I have opposing, like I see it all the time, like I used to be bad at this, getting into like fucking arguments with people on Facebook. I've kind of calmed down a lot. But case in point, like one of my last ones I had just about last week or week or two ago, someone was on old school friend of mine was saying, well, if the United States would only handle the coronavirus pandemic like Italy had with the lockdowns, we'd be better off. And I'm like, where is the proof of that Italy is handling it any better? I'm like, here's an article. Like, you guys are because she's currently in Sicily, and like, and I'm like, here's an article saying that you guys are having a outbreak. Well, I live out here currently, so that makes me an authority over you. And I'm like, just because you live out there doesn't negate the fact that I'm capable of reading and understanding what the hell is going on over there. I'm like, you guys are still having an outbreak and stuff like that.
Currently. And does she not know what's going on currently in her own country?
And then I show articles of uprising in Japan when we're supposed to believe that Japan handled it so well because they wear masks all the time. Well, they're having another outbreak, another burst. You know, the United Kingdom created a new fucking strand of it. You know, and they're on lockdown. But hey, they've been on lockdown since. And then they go off and like saying, well, that's why they put the lockdowns back on. Well, I'm like, it either worked the first time or it didn't fucking work. I'm like, the point is, I'm trying to just give you the debate. You know, I'm just talking of saying, how long do lockdowns have to be in place before the time is so long that it becomes ineffective of locking down? You know, this is a legitimate question to ask. And then it just blows up. Well, you come on here just to only argue with me. You never say anything nice, and you don't even say hi, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, sorry then. I'll just stop right here. Because you didn't want to have a civil conversation because I opposed your opinion. But this is the point that I'm getting at. Is that now I have to be fearful of, like, if I meet, like, another parent of one of my son's classmates, you know, oh, fuck, am I going to, you know, do I say that, you know, I'm kind of right-wing? Or, you know, I got to be careful what I say because they may want to... Because people are going after people's jobs. People have already been getting fired just for being present at the rally. Not being part of the riots in D.C., but at the peaceful portion of it, right? Which, yes, for you guys out there that think that the whole fucking thing in D.C. was one big riot, it was not. Just like I can admit that some of the BLM protests and the Antifa or not even Antifa, I don't even think anything Antifa does is fucking peaceful, but the George Floyd protest, I can admit that not everyone there was rioting on any of those protests, but we both have to be in agreement that both rioting and peaceful protesting were occurring at the same time.
100%.
But people were there was like this famous MMA fighter that he was a commentary on some like on a fighting league that's like below the UFC. He got fired because he was just present there. He didn't get arrested for rioting. Wasn't part of rioting. Just got fired because he was there. They're cracking down.
It's as if these corporations that hire or that these people work for, it gives them a bad name. What are they trying to protect? Well, who are they listening to? What investors are telling them to do this? They don't talk about that.
Mm-mm. No, not at all.
It's disgusting.
So
I'm sick of it.
So I have to tiptoe around when I meet people or just talk publicly. At this point, I just don't give a fuck. They're already talking about removing the degrees from people at Harvard that are conservatives. Here, let me find that one.
About that. Yeah, I remember reading something about that. How can you do something like that? Well, they want to force the agenda that everyone should think the same goddamn way? Just imagine living in a world like that.
For political opinion. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. According to, this is Yahoo News. Harvard students petition to strip degrees from Trump-affiliated alums. Forbes even came out with an article warning other institutions like do not hire anyone that was part of the Trump administration. You know, Callie McEnany, if she wants to get a job fucking being a journalist or whatever, or any kind of or in the press, don't hire her. You know? Because she's a Trump supporter. They've been trying to lock this shit down on us, man. They want you to not have a job. They want you to go into the re-education camp. They want you to praise Premier's Pelosi.
Sounds like a CIA operation to me.
I mean, you literally can't put it past them. You can't put it. You know, the CIA has been responsible for so many government coups and government changes around the world. It's not impossible.
They manipulated so many.
Yeah.
Declassified.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's just, yeah, dude, it boils my fucking blood. But at the same time, I know that everything is going to be just fine. I know that the truth is going to come out, and people are going to realize how bad the whole world is played.
Foreignpolicy.com mapped the 7 governments the U.S., the United States, has overthrown. Yes, we now have confirmation that the CIA was behind Iran's 1953 coup, but the agency hardly stopped there. Matt, let's see here. Iran, 1953. Guatemala, 1954. The Congo, 1960. You know, the Dominican Republic, 1961. South Vietnam, 1963. That got us into the fucking war in the first place. Brazil, 1964. Chile, 1973. You know, this is just seven cases, man. 7.
Yeah, it's insane. These 3-lettered organizations are going to fall.
The alphabet boys.
They're going to fall.
You know, yeah.
Especially the IRS.
The moment that JFK tried to take down the CIA, you can't say that there wasn't any kind of backlash or any kind of, which I think the CIA was probably the main reason why he was assassinated.
Most definitely.
Which I probably talked to you about. You know, he fired the head of the CIA and was ready to just like get rid of the entire. He thought that it was too much power for one organization to have.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it says right here, under Chile, I can just see it right here, 1973. The CIA also conducted a propaganda campaign in support of Pinochet's new regime after he took office in 1973, despite knowledge of severe human rights abuses, including the murder of political dissidents.
Wow.
Yeah, that dude was throwing commies out of helicopters. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Fuck. It's just something straight out of the CIA, dude. I'm really hoping the day of the inauguration, everyone will see the truth. I really am hoping that, man.
You know, you brought up Pelosi and her background, family background, not necessarily hers, but family background in the mob. Is that like founded? Can we find that? Should I search?
I'm pretty sure that's public. I think Kumo is the same.
Well, he's fucking what's his name? Fredo. Fucking Fredo. Ties to the mob. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find that. Oh, it says here. Oh, that's Reddit. I don't know if we can why the fuck would this be on 24/7 Sports?
24/7 Sports.
Oh, this is from OAN. Pelosi's mafia ties explain dim opposition to border wall. It's a picture of Pelosi with JFK. I don't listen to Snopes. Snopes is not even a fact checker.
No.
The Alessandros. The Alessandros, I think, is Pelosi's main name. Or it is, yeah. A Baltimore political powerhouse that gave us 2 mayors and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Let's see if we can find it. Which, I mean, you know, it's... If it was in politics and it was in Baltimore and it comes from an Italian family, then yeah. More likely than not. The large Italian family's political power derived from a knowledge... Derived from a knowledge of how Baltimore worked and an understanding of how to bring the city's factions together, said Julian L. Jack Lapides, a former longtime state senator. They stayed in Little Italy. They were proud of their roots. They didn't move outward. They stuck to the neighborhoods, and they thought the neighborhoods were the most important thing in the city. They've always been city neighborhoods, blah, 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 blah. The patriarch, Thomas D'Alessandro Jr., which I think is her father, was the son of Italian immigrants who brought back a Major League Baseball franchise, the Orioles, which I think they were part of that entire scandal of baseball betting a long time ago. Tricia Lyon had 6 children, was pregnant for every one of her husband's campaigns, but she didn't let it stop from organizing women's neighborhood. Again, I can't find anything that said, which, you know, they're probably going to fluff it up, but if you got an Italian politician, more likely than not, that, you know, had mafia ties. I really wouldn't. Which,
I'll have to dig deeper into it, but if I find something, I'll send it to you. But
which will bring up,
it's
go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Which brings up a question I wanted to ask you. Do you think that we have a history of mafia influencing not only elections, but government politics, government policy, or policy making throughout the states, and even probably federal government too? Do you think that when we say this, do you think that could be a concern today?
Most definitely, most fucking definitely. You wouldn't think so?
I don't know. I think that we've attacked the mob so much that, maybe it's not as prevalent today, but they didn't go away,
But how do we even know it's even the mob? What if it's just another organization, something that's even deeper that controlled the mob? We can get deeper into this. It could be another organization similar to the mob, or it could be anything, man. It's just somebody or people out there are controlling the goddamn world. And earlier today I was showing you all these politicians and leaders that are resigning. Why are they leaving? What is the information that they have, or what are they affiliated with that they don't want to be cut up? Be caught with? It's insane. I'm just trying to put the pieces together to figure out what in the fuck is going on. Why are these people so fucking crazy? Who are they affiliated with? And why are they trying to hide their ass?
And I'm just trying to agree and say that it's not completely out of this world to believe that, because we have examples of it happening in the past. And, what's to say that it couldn't happen again or in today? We can't be... And this is what I got into an argument with someone on the left. And there's some people I can't have a civil conversation with on the left, because I say, why is it conspiracy for me to ask why? It's not a conspiracy, if I ask questions and say why, well, do you think that it's weird that they just walked into the Capitol, or am I not supposed to ask that question, and then now I could be labeled a conspiracy theorist and be taken off? I'm asking why. Why can I not ask that? What? What? Why is it that they walked in? Why is it that this rhetoric was taken completely 180 and did something else? I don't think it's not inappropriate to ask these questions, because we have these examples before in the past that we've seen. I was going to mention, the mob that was really pushing for JFK to invade Cuba, because, the Cuban Revolution, they got rid of all those casinos. And then who was making the money from the casinos was the mob. That was the mob's money that they were just going down the drain. So they were pushing Kennedy, and even the Secretary of Defense to create a sabotage of the airliner, American airliner, getting blown up and blaming it on Castro just so they could find a reason.
Yeah. What was it? Operation Northwoods. And Kenny said, "Fuck no, we're not doing that."
Yeah, and then I'm sure that if you go out on the street and you tell people, okay, so it's weird for me to say that that there were insiders, provocateurs that probably incited the riot, at the Capitol, that was probably more to blame. You think that's more of a conspiracy theory? Well, what if I told you that the federal government was planning to blow up a civilian airliner just to blame Cuba? Which one's more fucking believable?
Yeah.
But then one has factual evidence behind it, and one we're still trying to figure out. So, yeah, it's the biggest one is the MK Ultra. I think has been. I'm telling you that changed.
Who created that operation?
The CIA.
Exactly.
CIA. After Operation Paperclip, and we put that guy in charge of NASA to get us into the moon, the Nazi. Von Braun. That guy had a factory in Nazi Germany, and he would hang Jews in the factory just so he can send a message to all the Jewish workers that were there and just keep working. He would have hanged bodies while they were working in the front of his factory. Yeah. And then people say that, oh no, we can't be that. We can't be that fucking monstrous. Well, yeah, the man brought us to the fucking moon, bro, and put us into space.
But why were they so fascinated and racing to get into space? I feel like there's something up there that they don't want us to know about. What the fuck is really up there? I know it wasn't a race to the fucking moon, man. There's so many questions I ask myself and ask others, because television and history books will only tell you, yeah, we did this, we did that, we went and landed on the moon, America was the first. But was it really the whole fucking point going to the moon, or was there something about space that we were trying to figure out? And then the big speculation I counted too was the whole thing with Trump and the Space Force. He was very quick into making a brand new branch called the Space Force. Why? Because they knew they were weaponizing space. They were weaponizing space.
Not only that, but a lot of space involved funds were getting blanketed under defense funds, under the defense funds. Like you would have the defense funds, right, of like $700 billion, and then it would go down to the branches from there, and then the branches. But then somewhere secretly hidden under like government contracts, or somewhere under that defense budget, would be the space exploration and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Which, like you were saying, they've been probably looking at shit for the longest time, for years. And by making it its own branch, it's kind of making it more difficult to hide that funds. It's making it a little bit more public.
Exactly.
And transparency is what he I think, mostly wanted to do, because we're already doing shit in space. So let's stop fucking around and just make it its own branch, right? Which is, the great. But it's also important to make it transparent to the American people, because then after that the Pentagon released that we have vehicles from unknown places, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know who made that public too was Bob Lazar back in the 80s. The fucking government destroyed his fucking life. He had so much proof, so much evidence.
He's alive, right?
What's that? He's still alive, yeah. Bob Lazar, man. He made it fucking public. He wasn't lying. What the fuck is really out there? I'm not saying it's aliens. I'm not saying any of that. I want to believe it. I really do. But at the same time, why are they keeping it a secret? There's so much about our own history we do not fucking know about. Nothing. They only want you to know the bits and pieces of it. How do we know that there hasn't been uprisings in different civilizations? Why did those civilizations disappear? Who were they uprising against? Is it happening again today? Are those people that were controlling these fuckers for thousands of years? Are these the same people that I question this crap.
Yeah.
I question it. Even so I'm going to go back to 7:17. You said that this is going to be biblical.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. I want to see something. I want to know something. I'm tired of being lied to. I'm tired of it. Just imagine a world where it's just nothing but peace. There's evils just starting to be eliminated. And we can prosper. Medicine can be at its highest peak to where we can cure cancer. We can cure diseases. Technology to help us build and explore other worlds. It'll be just amazing. Instead, we live in this fucking society where we're only limited to what we can do, only limited to what we can learn, and only limited to fucking dumb technologies that keep making us dumb.
Instead, we have to be catered into a culture now that believe what I say, or you're going to be cast out as the leper.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I believe there's a great awakening that's about to happen, and after the 20th, I don't think the world that we remembered back in 2019, hell, even 2020, it's not going to be the same. Nothing will be the same after this. And I hope it's for the fucking greater good of the world.
Yeah, I hope so. Something's coming, man. I mean, it's not getting, things are not getting better. And people are going to say, "Oh, that's Trump's fault." It's probably all of our faults. Everyone, collectively.
And you said it earlier, we allowed it.
We allowed it. Yeah, That's right. We allowed our institutions of education to be flooded with extreme left ideology that are going to be well-known socialists in the university system that are going to push their agenda, their ideology onto their students, and I do believe that trickle down of now, they'll just, outgrow it. They didn't outgrow it. They became CEOs and they became board members, or, or even part of the press, part of the media. I just don't know what we should do to fix this problem. What I do know as a first step is that we who believe different and oppose that kind of culture change, we do need to get together and support each other as well. So we need to, if you own a business and you had the capability of hiring someone that got fired or can't get hired because of their conservative thought, hire them. We need to help each other. This is because the reason why that the Democrats and the far left have been so successful these past couple of years is that they're good at bonding together, getting together, and then really, they use the fear tactics, they use the hate, because they know if they throw out the fucking racist word at you, no one wants to be labeled a racist, right. Even, and then we know that it's not true that we are, we're not, so So they throw that at you so that they can get you off your feet, and intimidate you. And the shit needs to stop. We need more support on our side. We need to get together more. We need to have our more open debates, because they're having their debates. They're having their conversations openly, and fuck, so do we. And I get it that a lot of people on the right probably have like jobs and like are more laid back, but we need to start being more proactive. Be more proactive. And I think that's going to be the start. I'm not saying that that's going to be the cure. I'm not saying that's going to fix everything. This shit ain't going to happen overnight, and I can tell you that this will be a good first step to the right direction.
Yeah, it's a healing process. Because you're right.
I'll tell you what. After January 6th, it lit a fucking fire under my ass, man. It lit a fire under my ass to keep speaking, to keep talking, because I think it's bullshit that anyone gets fucking silenced for. Especially Donald Trump,
Yeah.
And you have them on CNN, Dom Lemon and Cuomo going on there. If you voted for Trump, if you're part of the party of the KKK, you're part of the party of the of white supremacy, you got fucking politicians in the House calling him the white supremacist in chief, Because they use that because for further division of people, because there's going to be a lot of people out there that hear that and are going to believe it a lot. And then Joe Biden's got the balls to go on TV and say, well, Donald Trump knows that you repeat lies over and over again and people are going to start to believe it. Motherfucker, you and your party have been doing that shit too.
1 second, Matt. I'm going to pause. I'm going to use the restroom.
All right. Back on from the tinkle break.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, like I said, I think we need to get together, and so it's going to probably be a busy week. I agree with you. Something probably big is going to be happening after the 20th. I don't know what, but like everything else, man, we just got to live it day by day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, is there anything else you want to add before we?
No, man, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. We covered a lot of good topics. A lot of questioning involved with everything that's happening, especially not just here in the U.S., but around the world. A lot of weird and crazy shit. And I'm going to keep saying I really do think something is going to pop up before the inauguration. And I really do hope the truth comes out.
Yeah, I hope so too, and I think it will.
Yeah.
And to leave on the message, if anyone's still at this point listening, hopefully they are. But like I said, we're not going to get through this as individuals. Yes, we have individual rights, and those need to be protected. But we get through this collectively, and we can't. No one can fight alone. I mean, you could try, but it takes a lot of support, and it definitely doesn't hurt. So. Like I said, these conservative-owned businesses need to get together. Conservative thinkers need to get together. Conservative opinion writers need to get together. Everyone. This is how we're going to get this.
The left side, even the liberal side, so they need to get together. There's a lot of them waking up, realizing that they're being fucking played.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, politics just need to be thrown the fuck out. Help one another.
Yeah,
we're all Americans.
Yeah, you're right. And you're right. It's not just about the conservative thought, but it's about Americans together. That we're not going to accept hate. We're not going to fucking accept.
No.
The majority of Americans being called racist, and shit that's blatantly not true. Anyway.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming out, man. Getting the time to do this. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and hopefully we get to do it again soon.
Let's do it very soon. Let's try to do it before inauguration.
All right, man. This sounds good. Okay, cool. All right, well, hey, have a good night. Thanks you guys for coming out and watching. God bless.
God bless.